I read the book Loving What Is by Byron Katie for the first time recently. I had started it a few years ago, and I felt like I kind of got what she was talking about in the first chapter, and then I just didn't really care to read a lot more of it. A lot of it is written in the form of dialogue between her and the people who come to her presentations, whatever you call them. And I don't like reading dialogue in that way when I'm trying. Like, if I'm going to be reading dialogue, I want to actually be reading a script. It is very hard for me to read long form when I was expecting, just standard prose writing. And anyway, I finally read the book recently. And I have really put the practice that she has into my life. It hasn't completely taken over all my personal development kind of journaling, but it is a big part of it now. And what I love about what she does is that she tells you to take an idea and then just ask if it's true, if you can know that it's true, how do you feel with that thought, and how would you be without that thought? And it's that last one that I really, really love. So if I take an assumption like, the most dramatic one, we'll just go with that, like, everybody hates me. I think it's a fundamental idea that all of social anxiety is founded under, is that everybody hates me. You ask, is that true? You can say, like, feels like it, but, like, can I know that that's true? Okay, well, no, I can't technically read minds. You write in longer responses than that. But just to summarize, and then it's, how do I feel with that thought? Well, very, very bad. And then the last question, how would I be without that thought? What I love about it is that it doesn't tell you, now get that idea out of your head now that we've clearly proven that it's unfounded. It's not a smack in the face. It just invites you to consider, who would I be without that thought? What would be different about me? All that it does is make you visualize this slightly more rational, emotionally sound person. And then that visualization, I've learned this so much the past 2 years. Visualization and repetition and affirmation is so important. People can think that it's hokey and stupid. Awesome. They can be all the bitter that they want to be. I have become so much happier and so much more optimistic through the power of visualization and affirmation. But you can't brute force it either. I've done it in the past where I really, really thought about, this thing that I really want, and it's definitely going to come to me because I'm thinking about it so hard. Push it, push it, push it, push it, push it. I think most people who first read or saw The Secret kind of had a similar response. And then, they didn't get a Ferrari in 6 months, like I did not at the age of 11, and really lost their faith in it. This is some stupid blah, 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 blah. And I'm not saying, I think that there are issues with The Secret in terms of the law of attraction. But, it was a starter. It was a starter for a lot of people. And I think that that's pretty important. Yeah, all that it invites you to do is just consider, who would I be without this limiting belief that isn't even true? Who would I be without it? And automatically, you just feel a little bit of relief from doing that. At least I do. A very, very gentle suggestion of how you could change your thinking. It doesn't feel like you're lecturing yourself like some other journaling I've done has. It doesn't feel like you're arguing with yourself. It's just a very objective, straightforward, and leaves it to your own interpretation, leaves you to come to your own conclusion about it. And, man, lets you really use your imagination. There's a whole world in my head of who I would be without this limiting belief or that limiting belief. It's just wonderful. It's just wonderful. It's so much fun. It's so much fun to just imagine how good you could be. It's so much fun. as long as you're not brute forcing it, as long as you're not turning it into another should, another smack in the face. If there's one thing that loving what is tells you, is that you need to stop saying the word should. I should do this, or this thing in the world should be this way, this person should act this way. All that you are doing is setting yourself up for misery by setting rules for the universe that it is probably not going to live up to. And more important than setting rules for the universe, setting rules for your own happiness. I can only be fulfilled if this should is actually upheld. I made 3 videos just now that I don't think are that good. So I can take, do I know that's true? I mean, not really. I guess anyone can have their own interpretation of it. Can I know that it's true? No, it's not really possible to ever have an objective standard about the quality of your video. How do I feel with that thought? Anxious and afraid and stupid and out of my element here. And who would I be without that thought? I would be Jesus!